Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Car 5 Podcast. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me today for episode number 156 of the Car 5 Podcast. You guys know me, of course. I'm your host, Joshua. For today's episode, very interesting. We're actually going to be talking about an idea that Ferrari came up with, which was in response to a recent safety regulation. Now, everybody knows safety regulations come in and they change cars all the time. Different ride heights, different headlight and tail light heights they got to adjust. Literally, we can sit here and talk all day about all the safety regulations that you have to have. But one that is recently being implemented actually, as good as it does, it's also kind of bad. And what that regulation is, it's involving A-pillars in vehicles that they want them to be much bigger, thicker, safer, and stronger. Which, by all means, there's nothing wrong with that. Anything that car manufacturers can do that can protect the interior passengers, the driver, the passengers, so that way, in the event of a car rolling over or an accident can save someone's life, absolutely, there should be no questions asked about it. But they should still be looked at because if you take example supercars, they already don't have the best vision in the world. Some are really bad, some are actually quite good, but some cars really have a problem with vision. Especially with those A-pillars, because the car sits so low already, those A-pillars and how the driving position is, it's right there in your vision. You can see it. Sometimes that A-pillar makes things hard to see. Well, a recent safety regulation is saying they have to be bigger for overall structural capacity of the car, which it makes sense, but on a lot of cars, it inhibits vision even worse. Ferrari came up with an absolutely brilliant idea to overcome that. And that idea actually comes from their Formula One racing team. Technically Formula One as a whole, but they pulled this idea from F1 technology, which car manufacturers often do. And here's the details of it. So actually earlier this year, in June of 2019, Ferrari filed a patent that dissects the windshield of their cars and basically implements a structural F1 halo. How cool is that? Now, looking at the picture, it's legitimately like the halo is going to be one with the car, but you kind of got like a Corvette split window thing going on in the front windshield, two separate windshields, one loaded for the driver and one for the passenger. It's pretty unique, and I guess in their testing of it or the science they've looked into this, that an F1 halo basically structure replacing of the windshield actually helps the car. They say it increases the passenger cell strength, it improves aerodynamics, improves airflow, and it would allow other components that are near the front of the car and towards the roof of the car to be implemented into the back behind the driver and the passenger seat. So in some way, it actually makes mechanical sense too. Now, one can argue as well, putting a halo in the windshield, now you have a giant beam in the center. So how would that fix your vision problem? Well, Ferrari also has an answer to that as well. I want to make sure I get this right. Basically, they'd be adding an extra camera in the car that projects real-time footage of the road in front of you on that pillar. So essentially, it's as if nothing, you're going to be able to tell there's a pillar there, but it's real-time footage, according to what Ferrari is saying. You're not going to miss anything. It's going to look like the road in front of you. So if you can picture yourself driving and you kind of, turn your head to the right so you can see that pillar, apparently it's supposed to be real-time video as if you're just looking through a windshield. Well, that's pretty interesting. What I'm wondering is how real would it look? Like, would the video be so good from the inside of the halo being on the inside of the car that you wouldn't be able to tell at all? Or could you tell that it's obviously a video and is it the same? I don't really know. Ferrari is also saying it gives the idea of completely removing the rear view mirror. And again, they would use another camera, which would sit atop of the halo, would be your rear view mirror. So the whole center of the windshield basically is going to be real-time video of what's in front of you. So quote unquote, your vision is technically not impaired by the halo. But at the top of the halo, at the roof of the car, inside obviously, there's going to be a real-time projected video of the traffic behind you, thus eliminating a rearview mirror. I think that's all very interesting. I'm speaking of structure-wise of how they would make it, they're saying that any material will actually work for the halo. It just depends on how you build it into the car itself, and it looks like it could potentially be one with the whole structure of the car. Naturally, thus doing that, the windshield wipers would sit in the middle of the halo and either go one big side to side or two separate ones. We've seen one windshield one single windshield wipers implemented into several cars already. Hypercars have been using them for some time now. But I don't know. I think it's a very interesting idea to fix a vision issue. I think safety regulators might come back to Ferrari and maybe argue how their F1 Halo idea is not the same visually, because they're going to be using a camera to project real-time footage on that halo on the inside of the car. Maybe it's not reliable enough. I don't know. This is very interesting. I think it would be really cool to see production cars start basically having halos. I wouldn't say I'm entirely sold on it. I think it looks kind of funky in a production car, but maybe it can work out if they style it differently. I don't know. What do you guys think? This is kind of a conversational episode. I'm just presenting an idea. Basically, safety regulators said you guys need to strengthen your A pillars for overall safety. Granted, Ferrari says, well, that's going to inhibit vision. Here's our proposed idea that we've recently filed a patent for. So that we don't have to touch our A-pillars, adding an F1-like halo into the structure of the car, thus dividing the windshield. And to fix the vision problem that the halo presents, we're going to use real-time footage on the inside of the halo so you can see what's in front of you. I don't know. I feel like it's a gray area. It could work. It could not work. But again, Ferrari's saying outside of the vision, it is improving the passenger cell strength, aerodynamics, and airflow. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? Do you think it'll work? Do you think it'll not work? Do you think it looks ugly? Do you think it looks cool? Let me know what you guys think. I would love to have an in-depth conversation about this. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for episode number 156, talking about Ferrari's Formula One Halo idea and implementing into their cars in response to basically a recent safety regulation. So don't forget to follow on Instagram, like on Facebook. If you're checking out the podcast for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Feel free to head over to the YouTube channel as well. And once you get there, if you guys see what you like, just browse around. Hit that subscribe button. If you don't mind, leave a like on this video as well. If you guys ever need anything from me, you know what to do. Just shoot me an email. info@car5podcast.com. Don't forget to check out the link in the description. Your guys' go-to source for the best car apparel out there. You want a favorite jacket, shirt, hat, accessory from your favorite car company, www.tlg.com. Got a coupon code for you guys as well. Last but most certainly not least, don't forget to tune into our next episode, number 157, talking about the special Heritage edition that is coming out for the GT350 and GT350R Shelbys, that is in celebration of their 55-year partnership with Ford. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Please remember to drive safe and have a fantastic evening. Thank you.